The silence. Welcome, everyone. My name is Colin McClay, and my colleague
Henry Jenkins.
And we are honored by your presence and thrilled to have this time tonight and this amazing cast of podcast creators for the second in this remarkable series, and the power of pleasure of podcasting, the rise of the radio fiction. So we have a great show tonight, and we'd like to begin with a land acknowledgement. That is to acknowledge that USC was built on the sacred land of the Tongva, Chumash, and Kizh people. The colonization of this land reflects the systems of power upon which this country was founded and which continue to operate today. We honor all Indigenous people, past, present, and future, and their continued survival and contributions to our society. We also honor the legacy of the African diaspora and recognize that this country would not exist without the free enslaved labor of Black people. We know that contemporary struggles for Black lives are connected to our history of violence and white supremacy. We are particularly troubled tonight by the inexcusable violence and hate against Asian American and Pacific Islander community. We share these acknowledgements to pay respect to the original caretakers of this land, to raise awareness about histories that are too often erased or forgotten, to recognize our place in this history, and to affirm our commitment to social change. And with that in mind, we invite you to enter the native lands where you are located in the chat, recognizing that you are hopefully around the country and across the world. And if you don't know where you are located, historically speaking, just go to native-land.ca and we'll put that in the chat. So I want to begin with thank you to the team from Vision and Voices, Marie, Daria, Martin, amazing help there from Annenberg, Sophie, Deb, Willow, Ardeen, and especially our guinea pigs, our guests. We have an amazing cast of creators, the likes of which we would never have been able to bring to you in person as we had originally intended. So tonight is nothing if not an experiment to bring two live performances in their ways of audio fiction. We're not sitting in a room together, but we are in a virtual room together. And we have the added benefit of having these entire casts and people who would never have been able to make it in person. So there will no doubt be hiccups and confusion and a little bit of action, and perhaps the internet will contribute to those too. So apologies in advance for that, but I would just encourage you to see that as part of the adventure, part of this experiment, part of the way that we are making sense and moving on in this, in this epically crazy moment that we find ourselves in. So with that, I just want to give you a quick word on the schedule, which is that we're going to do first Video Palace performance, going to be amazing. Then on to the Bright sessions. We'll have a quick bio break, 5 minutes or less, and then we'll dive into questions and answers. So I see some Q&A already in there, and feel free to keep rolling through them. We'll get them into the conversation as best we can, but it'll be a free-for-all. But I want to now turn to Henry, whose idea, really, this is where this all came from Henry's head. So
yeah, so we had great success with the Pleasure and Politics of Podcasting Part 1 a year and a half ago or thereabouts, where we celebrated the diversity of the contemporary podcast with representatives of, among other things, the Kitchen Sisters, Uncivil, Good Muslim, Bad Muslim. And as we were discussing this, I sort of was pointing out the rise or revival of, what do we want to call it? Audio fiction, radio drama, radio fiction, and the sort of, which is a really fascinating form. If you think about media history, this is a form that thrived throughout the mid part of the 20th century, was overridden by television in the 1950s, and has shifted from a dominant form to an experimental form, and now seems to be undergoing a revival. I grew up listening to classic radio. I still do a lot of the time. And so I was fascinated to see these new forms taking shape, and particularly a fan of the two shows you're going to see tonight. Don't miss out on the events tomorrow morning. We're going to be showcasing a panel specifically on that connection the history and historical roots and current state of audio fiction, which is going to feature radio drama revival host Alina Fernandez Collins and scholars Kathy Fuller-Seeley, who's got a great new book out about the Jack Binney program and its impact on radio history, and Neil Verma, who's written a number of books on the aesthetics, the theater of the mind, as he calls one of his books. That's at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And at 11:30 tomorrow, Colin's going to be overseeing world building and genre fiction in the contemporary podcast industry with Mike Manello from Video Palace, Lauren Shipman from The Bright Sessions, and Heather Einhorn from Daughters of DC.
And we got Ben Rock also from Video Palace in there too.
Thank you. That's not on what I was given. In any case, with that in mind, sit back, listen attentively, and we're going to be joined first by the cast and crew of Video Palace, who are going to introduce themselves.
Hello. We're pulling up the cast and crew of Video Palace now. We all want to introduce ourselves, so I'll give it a second.
Ready for the first music, Mike?
For everyone to show up? Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Walk on music, come on.
So we're all going to quickly introduce ourselves. I am Mike Manello. I am a co-creator and co-executive producer of Video Palace.
I'm Ben Rock. I am the co-writer and the director of Video Palace.
Jeremy Lee. I was the sound designer for the series.
I'm Devin Seidel, and I play Tamra.
I am Graham Skipper, and I am playing Mark Cambria.
Hi, I'm Kelly Holden Bashar, and I am Amber Hutchins. I couldn't see myself.
And I am Larry Cedar, and I'm playing Randy Wayne.
All right. I'd like to, before we get started, just quickly acknowledge some of the folks who aren't on screen with us now, but whose work you're going to experience tonight, starting with co-creator and co-executive producer Nick Braccia, co-writer Bob DeRosa, producer Liam Finn, music composer Michael Teoli, and of course, Nick Lazo and the entire team at Shudder for their amazing support of Video Palace. And for those of you who haven't heard it, Video Palace is a 10-part podcast chronicling a young couple's investigation into the origins of a mysterious white VHS tape that physically affects Mark Cambria after he watches it, and the infamous video store from which it came. Video Palace is a spooky fiction told in the style of true crime podcasts such as Serial.
The story, as we designed it, it's designed to sound absolutely real and immersive, like Mike said, like Serial in the Dark was another huge inspiration for us. And when we kind of broke it apart, there are a bunch of techniques going on in it. There's kind of on-the-fly audio of people living in their everyday lives. There's voiceover, of course, and there's interviews. We used a regular recorder, not unlike this one, for most of it, even though we were in a professional studio. We wanted to show you some of the techniques that we used to get the performances that we got. So that includes physicalization, so that's people's like physical approximation to the microphone, also like their posture, standing, sitting, walking, whatever it was like that. And then there was a technique that Mike and I created some 20 years ago for Curse of the Blair Witch, a Blair Witch special for interviewing people, where we give people kind of a creative brief that's a page or two, and then they're literally interviewed on camera, in this case on audio, to get their complete normal, natural reaction. So we're recreating kind of an abbreviated version of that. Those interviews would often go on for about 30 minutes. So those are the main techniques we're going to show you. We're not going to show you the voiceover because you can imagine that. But so we're going to jump around in the story a little bit. These are actual scenes from Video Palace. So we're going to jump around. Mike and I are going to tell you where we are in the story. You know, just go with it. It might be a little confusing, but you'll at least, we're trying to show you the techniques. So the first scene that we're going to do is a scene where, after interviewing the wife of Thurman Mueller, an underground tape collector who disappeared about 20 years ago, a string of clues leads our hero, Mark Cambria, to a piano tuner named Randy Wayne in his piano shop in Staten Island. And
hang on just 1 second. What I got to do here is I got to get the string in place like that. See what I'm saying? And I just got to adjust this a little bit. There, you hear that? There's a G. There's a G.
Yeah, I do. I hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
So Randy, what do you remember about the Video Palace?
Video Palace. That place was great, man. It's a fantastic place. You could find just like the most obscure possible videos you could even think of. Anything you ever possibly wanted, you could get there. Like today, I mean, in New York, you can pretty much get anything you want, online. But back then, man, you drive 2 hours up to Video Palace, hang on. There you go. You spend like the afternoon up there, you'd be looking for stuff. And it was just like this, it's like a warehouse, but it was small. It wasn't too big. And there was like no walls dividing it. It was basically just these rows of shelves from floor to ceiling. And they had like 1,000 videos, maybe more, maybe 2,000, right? And because they were trying to save space, what they'd do is they'd stack them so you could just see the ends. You couldn't even see the covers, just see the ends, right? And you would look and you'd look, and we couldn't get any higher when it was above, where you wanted to get. You had to pull this big sliding ladder over, and you'd have someone hold. I mean, it was like an afternoon, you climb up to the top, you find the one you want, you toss it down to your buddy, it's great. Listen, they had Super 8, they had 16 millimeter.
Wow.
There's stuff you can get online now, but no, that was the only place. That was the place.
Wow. So in all your time spent there, did you ever know a guy by the name of Thurman Mueller?
Thurman Mueller? The Thurman Mueller? Yeah, I knew Thurman.
Yeah.
You know Thurman?
Wow. All right.
Yeah, no, I knew him. He was, I guess you could say he was at the time the preeminent video collector. I mean, that's the guy you went to. I mean, I was introduced to him by a friend, and no, this guy was the guy, man. He knew everything. Like, you got your comic book connoisseurs, you got your movie connoisseurs. I mean, you got your book connoisseurs. This guy was your video connoisseur. This was the man, and he's a little bit older than me, but yeah, we hung out for a while. We would go up there together sometimes, and we'd find stuff, and we'd swap, we'd exchange videos. Yeah. Thurman was the guy. The guy.
Did you ever happen to hear Thurman talk about any white tapes? Or did you ever see one?
White tapes. Okay. I get it. That's why you're here. That's why we're having this interview, the white tapes. Jesus Christ. If I had a nickel for every time somebody came up for asking, all right, no, it's fine. It's not a problem. It's okay. I'll tell you about the white tapes. Nothing. There's nothing about the white tapes. It was just like this rumor, this legend. Listen, Video Palace, they had every kind of videotape. So you'd have videotapes that were green, videotapes that were blue, videotapes that were red. Yeah, there were some white videotapes, but I don't know. I never heard anything weird about them. There's nothing personally that I know anything about.
Well, I did get this from Thurman's wife. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but I brought the white tape I'd found in Mueller's house with me. Figured it might spark a memory from Randy. Maybe get him to give me more information. It's real. If he hadn't. I didn't remind Randy that this was a tape he'd sent to Thurman over 20 years ago. I wanted to see if he'd tell me that.
Hang on, just a second, okay? I got an old videotape.
Also, he might not remember sending Mueller this specific exact one white tape in particular, but I know that he knows something about the white tapes in general.
I got it! I haven't dug this thing up for a while. Videotape. Let me just put it in here. Spread it up. Let's take a look.
Randy took me into the small back room of his shop. It was a lot of tools, scrap piano wire, some half-built pianos with pieces missing.
Get it started, hang on.
And the parts of a piano you never see piled up on workbenches. Eventually, he found an old portable TV VCR combo and plugged it in.
Yeah, that's it.
He turned off the lights in his workshop so we could see the dim TV, maybe only 10 inches wide or so. And that's when this happened.
Yeah, to see there's nothing. What the fuck? What the fuck does that look like? Holy shit. Is that moving? There's some static, but I... Hang on a second. Do you see that there?
Transfixed. Maybe that's how I looked when I saw white tape for the first time. He stopped looking at me and fixated on that little television.
What the hell is that? See that right there? That's... Whoa!
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Hey, Randy? Oh, shit.
Randy seemed to lose balance.
Randy?
He stumbled back and caught himself on one of the pianos.
Hold on. Hey, are you okay? Oh, shit.
He looked like he was about to pass out, but his eyes were wide open and he was staring at me intensely. Like he had something important to say. I tried to steady him so he wouldn't fall over.
What? Randy. Hey, Randy. Randy, hold still. I'm gonna call somebody. Hey, come on, man. You're okay. I got you. Hey, I got you.
At first, I thought Randy was having a seizure and was just poking at the piano keys. But no, he was playing something
just hold still,
specific.
buddy. Just hold still.
Something that I didn't just hear. I felt it.
Do you see that? Oh.
Later in that evening, Mark and his partner in this investigation, Tamara, listen to this tape from Randy's piano shop, and she's investigating all of this with her. And go.
What in the actual fuck am I listening to?
Tamara was still skeptical, but she's got to know that I wouldn't make something like this up.
What is it?
I played her the tape, and she seemed visibly distressed by it.
What is that? What does that sound there?
Something went wrong with the recorder. And Randy was playing that tune on the piano like he was possessed.
No. That other sound at the end that's like coughing? What is it?
Oh, that's me. I almost threw up. I don't know why.
Oh,
Hey, don't laugh at me. Hey.
I'm not laughing at you. Okay, it's just, that's like the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know.
You have to go get that?
No, it's a blocked caller. I'll let it go to voicemail.
Okay. Well, so what the hell made you feel so sick this time?
I painted a picture for her of Randy's piano shop, how watching the white tape seemed to change him, and that tune he played, that creepy ass tune that made me feel so strange.
I don't get it, man.
She wondered if it was the tune that made me sick.
It's so weird.
What happened next? Something the recorder didn't pick up. Maybe I had low blood sugar, or not enough sleep, or I was just flat out hallucinating. But over the piano, it was like a dark patch where the air seemed to change. You know when you close your eyes and rub them hard and you see patterns? It was like that. But my eyes were open. I believe there's a rational explanation for this, but I don't know what it is. After I told her my story, Tamara looked at me for a long moment. Then...
So, do you still want to do this?
What?
This. Investigating these tapes, this video palace thing, like it's literally made you sick. Twice by my count. Okay, I need you well. Okay. Also, you gotta turn off your phone while you're recording. It's a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, in this next scene, Mark and Tamara go to Conway, Vermont, and are standing outside the location where the video palace once was.
So is it recording? Tamara, is it recording?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are standing quite possibly where this all began.
What are you doing?
I'm narrating. What?
Dude, aren't you gonna like record some voiceover later? What?
Yeah, but we can't just like stand here. We gotta do something.
Tamara and I hadn't wasted any time.
Okay.
As soon as we got to Conway, we went straight to where the video palace used to be located.
Back in the 90s, there was an industrial strip of warehouses and drab office space that didn't get a lot of foot traffic. It was still that, for the most part. A liquor store had opened on one side of the lot, as well as a small shack serving Mexican food. In between these two bustling bastions of capitalism was a stretch of hot concrete that used to be the Video Palace. It wasn't just closed, it was gone.
You sure this is it?
Yeah, this is the address. They tore it down back in the day and just poured concrete all over its old spot.
There's room for another business here. There should be something.
Well, maybe there's no need for another tractor store or whatever the hell kind of business flocks to Conway.
Then, where we're standing is all that's left of the Video Palace. Huh.
Are you disappointed?
No. Well, yeah, kind of. I don't know, I was just hoping for something more.
Like a creepy abandoned warehouse filled with white tapes and the ghost of Thurman Mueller going, "I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids."
yeah, that.
Yeah. Or we found out there's a sacred burial ground under here, and we get in the mayor's face and we scream, "You moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies! Why, you son of a bitch, why?"
It's pretty good.
Oh wait, no, or
No, hey Tamara, I'm not feeling.
There is a spaceship under here with an alien inside who doesn't just want to look like us.
Hey
It
Tamara.
wants to be us.
Hey Tamara.
It's just like, what? Oh my God, Mark. Mark, are you okay? Mark? Oh my God.
So our next scene is while they're in Conway, Vermont, Mark visits a former employee of the Video Palace named Amber Hutchins, who's a recluse who lives in a remote trailer packed full of stuff.
From the outside, the trailer looked old, but not in a kitschy vintage sense. It was probably from the 80s or 90s. Faded lime green paint, torn window screens. An old particle board dresser filled with old CD cases rotted underneath about 5 steps worth of aluminum stairs.
Get down. Hey, who's out there? Mark, is that you? Did you bring beer?
Yes. Yeah, to both.
Okay, come on in. Sit down. You come all the way here from where?
New York.
Whew, drove?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. That's a long drive.
Amber's trailer wasn't much to look at, and even less to smell.
Want to hand me them beers?
Tiny single wide crammed about 6 feet from the next trailer. There was a layer of dust covering almost everything, and it was hard to believe the smell only came from the 2 extremely friendly cats I saw there.
Hey, just move her. That's Luna. She's not usually that friendly that fast, so you must have something.
Amber's one of those people whose life careened off the tracks a long time ago, and she doesn't care who knows it. Within a few minutes of meeting me, she openly told me she was agoraphobic. Empty pill bottles for Klonopin, Tenormin, Parnate, and Ambien mixed with late notices for utilities and credit cards litter the table where she sits me down.
That shit.
She doesn't seem to own a television.
All right.
So, is this okay where we are? Can we do this?
Sure. Yeah, fine by me.
She tells me that her time at Video Palace was probably a turning point in her life for the worse.
So, how did you end up working at Video Palace?
Well, it was 1994, and I needed money. So I got a job at the Video Palace, and it was a piece of shit hole in the wall. It was down on 18th Street, and all those warehouses owned by a couple of old fucks called the Klims. And it was not much to look at. But man, oh man, floor to ceiling videotapes, like stacked like this, right? We used to joke that if it was a video you'd find at Blockbuster, it wouldn't be caught dead at the Video Palace.
I like that. Did you, while you were working there, ever hear or see anyone exchanging unmarked white videotapes?
Okay, yeah, there were whispers about the white tapes, which didn't make sense to me because we had every single fucking color tape in that place. But we get calls every now and then with someone asking for a white tape, and I learned real fast, if I got one of those calls, forward it to the manager, because one time I tried to help, I got my head bit off. So he got those calls. Of course, I'm fucking human, you know. Everyone acts weird about white tapes. Made me curious.
Huh. Well, I don't know, anything else that you saw? Sorry, it was the best they had at the corner store. Did anything else that you saw at Video Palace that I don't know, that you might consider unusual?
Yeah, there was a lot of weird shit that went on there. There was a real tiny office. Only the manager was allowed in there. And sometimes people would show up and they'd go in that office, and I swear to fuck, they would never leave. Like nobody saw them leave. You'd lock up the place and they wouldn't leave. How would that happen? And then there was this guy, very tall, overdressed, very thin, who would come in, and like this dude had a way of never looking at anybody. So I could not tell you what he looked like, but he'd disappear in the office. We used to call him the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you have any kind of a theory about what was going on in there?
Do I have a theory? I stopped talking to people about my last day at work. No one ever believed me, but if you want to know, Mark, I'll tell you.
Tamara picked me up at the entrance to the trailer park, and her spirits were completely different than they were in the morning. I knew immediately that she'd found something. We traded stories of what had gone down. I told her about Amber and her story that confirmed that Video Palace had a basement with weird TVs all in a circle. And I showed her the cassette tape Amber gave me. Tamara told me about Wiseman House and the box and everything, and she also had a little confession.
I have something to tell you.
Okay.
So Jasmine wanted to help me, but her hands were tied. So suddenly, she decided to take a smoke break and leave the garage door open.
You didn't?
Yeah. I don't know if she actually even smokes. It's in the trunk.
Oh my God, what?
Yes!
What?
Right?
No!
I know. I mean, I don't think the ghosts will mind.
What?
No, never mind.
We got back to our motel and looked into the box.
Mark, stop.
What?
You're gonna break something. Oh, shit.
Then something caught both of our eyes. Not one, two white tapes. What else could be in this box? Besides a bunch of old bank statements and bills and things, pictures of the Clims on a cruise ship in Belize and Charlene's high school diploma and whatnot, we found an old answering machine with a Video Palace business card clear taped to the top.
What is this?
And what do you know? An empty tape compartment. Tamara asked if the tape Amber gave me was the right size for this machine.
Will it fit?
It was. I think so.
Wednesday, 3:37 p.m.
Hello, this is Kurt calling you from Allied Electrical Repair.
Saturday, 10:32 a.m.
Hey, this is Mike. Calling to let Dave know I'm gonna be late.
Sunday, 1:42 a.m.
Hello, this is Herman Mueller. I know that I'm late with one of the tapes you gave me, but if it's all right, I'm gonna lend it to someone. His name is Mark Cambria. I really think that he needs to see this.
What? What the fuck?
Okay, in this next scene, after a terrible day where one of their collaborators ends up in the hospital and their apartment is burglarized, destroying all of his clues, Mark crosses the line while interviewing the daughter of a recently deceased friend and plays the tape for Tamra.
Did you see his eyes?
No, I didn't. Look, I didn't get a good... I didn't see his face, or his eyes. I really have to go. Sorry.
What?
Mark, seriously? I don't know what fucking tasks you were hoping the bereaved was going to do for you in her hour of need.
Listen to the tape. I didn't ask her.
The future, when you find out that someone's parent or, I don't know, loved one of any kind has just died, the correct human response is to console them, offer them anything you can do, and then let them get back to fucking grieving.
But what?
Tamra. What?
Look, I'm aware at how shitty that was, okay? But I had to know. There was no other way to...
You had to know what exactly? What, Mark?
You know.
No, I don't know. The fuck did you have to know, Mark? What the fuck did you have to know?
If the guy who took the tape, if the package was...
What, wait, Mark, are you fucking kidding me? The eyeless man? Oh my god, maybe I am the crazy one here, but urban legend creatures don't steal real fucking VHS tapes from real stroke victims in the real world. I'm like, are you recording this?
Well, yeah, I was.
Well, okay. All right. Okay, then. Well, I am now going to go on record since you can't seem to stop making our private life a part of your investigation. So here goes. My best friend is in the hospital and she could die. Your friend Jacob did die. You keep getting sick, and last night you passed out and hit your head so hard we probably should have taken you to the hospital too, but we were too busy investigating the origin of some fucking VHS tapes from hell, and so we didn't. Then our apartment is robbed, weird noises are happening outside. Here's the thing, Mark. None of these things are related.
But Tamra, look, I'm sorry, are you seriously saying that none of this can be related? I think it's pretty fucking obvious that the tapes had some effect on me. And I see a clear path from the tapes to Jacob Manders to Kat investigating them. And how is it that in this part of town, someone broke into our house and stole nothing except the tapes and research about them? You remember the Thurman Mueller tape from 20 years ago that mentions me by name? I mean, come on.
If this shit is all true, then that is equal parts ridiculous and fucked up. And it means that there is an eyeless man out there searching for you or whatever. Oh, you know what? To this, I just say, fuck this noise. Fuck it.
Tamra.
No, turn that off. Okay, turn that fucking thing off. This is over, Mark.
No, wait. What? Oh, fuck.
Video Palace is a Shudder original podcast. Please, be kind, rewind.
That was amazing, and I just wish we could share a room full of applause with those performers. That was just awesome. So please let them feel the love in the chat. As we transition now, I feel like a whole new form has been invented, at least for me. And now we're going to transition to the Bright Sessions. And so Lauren Chippen, who is a writer and actor and the creator of Bright Sessions and Passenger List and more, is going to take us away.
Thanks so much, Colin. And thank you so much, Video Palace, for that incredible performance. It was just amazing to see that happen live. So we have something a little bit different for you. As Colin said, I'm Lauren Chippen, the writer and creator of The Bright Sessions, which is a science fiction podcast about people with supernatural abilities in therapy. Our main show ran from 2015 to 2018. And in 2019 and 2020, we released 2 exclusive spinoffs, which are now coming out everywhere. The first, the AM Archives, began yesterday, actually. And the original Bright Sessions was an experiment of sorts. I wanted to make something of my own as an actor and gathered some friends from my acting class to jump into the other roles. We recorded the entire thing in the room that you see me in right now. This is my bedroom in LA, and figured everything else out as we went along. It was extremely DIY. And we wanted to give you a taste of how we actually recorded those episodes. It would be all of us in this room reading through the script like we were doing a staged reading or a rehearsal. The Bright Sessions and my general approach as an audio fiction writer is very actor forward, focusing on the dialogue and the character relationships, giving actors maximum freedom and flexibility in their approach to the scripts and seeing what surprising revelations come out of that. We would always record entire episodes in one single take, with actors doubling back on individual lines if they hit a snag, but with only giving direction after doing the entire episode all the way through. And that really helped us build momentum within each episode and capture as much of the real experience as we possibly could. The episode we'll be performing tonight is our season 2 finale, where our therapist, Dr. Bright, enlists 2 of her patients to try and break her brother out of a government facility. This was the first episode I wrote knowing that it was going to be produced by somebody else, Misha Stanton, our wonderful sound designer who joined us in season 2, but it still very much relies on the relationships and the dialogue between the characters. So we're going to be performing it just like we recorded it, reading through the entire thing, all the actors playing off of each other with the sound effects, staging, and atmospheres all happening in our minds. There are 3 major differences for this particular read, however. The first 2 are practical because all of you don't have the scripts in front of you. I'll be reading some of the sound effects and scene transitions to give you the same context that the actors who have the scripts have. And we are, of course, not all in the same room. The third change is for fun. In the spirit of the original experimentation, everyone is going to be playing a different role than the ones they did in the podcast. So without further ado, here is episode 219, 0 Hour. We fade in on the click of a recorder and the atmosphere of the motel room.
All right, let's go over the plan one more time.
The recorder's on?
Yes.
Good.
Are you nervous?
Nervous? Am I nervous? Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Really?
Everything is going to be fine. We've gotten the jump down perfectly. We still have about an hour until Damien is supposed to call.
Are you sure about him?
Well, it's a little late to call him off now.
True, but I don't know. Aren't you worried he's going to mess everything up?
Why would he? Damien doesn't cause trouble for the sake of trouble. At least not since I've known him. I mean, Lord knows he knows that deviating from the plan could land him in the cell right next to Mark.
Speaking of the plan.
Right. Damien is going to enter here. There's only one guard at this gate and then another at the entrance. He'll have to persuade a guard to give him their key card, and then from there he'll take the east stairway down to the sub-basement, and then it's just a matter of walking into the secure area and opening Mark's cell.
Oh, sure. Easy peasy.
The highest levels of security are manned by guards, not protected by keypads or locks. Not protected by keypads or locks, which actually works better for us. Damien won't need any codes to get through.
That really doesn't sound like very much security for something like the AM.
It's easier to protect something when no one knows it exists.
I guess.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. Lasers, a moat, mutant dogs. You've made the AM sound pretty super villainy.
I'm sorry to disillusion you, but it's a pretty basic government building.
And you're sure the AM hasn't updated their security system in 2 years? I mean, that seems unlikely.
Bureaucracy moves at a very slow pace, Sam. They just installed the brand new system before I left. There's no way they've gotten around to another update.
Wait, what? Won't Damien's power wear off? The guards eventually, they'll come looking for him, right?
Not if he's in and out in 15 minutes. We've been practicing, and his control is getting better.
You've been helping him improve his ability?
Only as much as we need.
Jesus, Dr. Bright. Okay, so we have 15 minutes to make this work.
Which is why the moment Damien enters the sub-basement, you make the jump. You can spend as much time as you want in 1810 to prepare to pull Mark back, but once you do, you need to come to the same time you left, or as close as you can get. We can't have Damien waiting around for Mark to wake up. I doubt Damien would be able to carry him, and I don't like the idea of him having custody over an unconscious Mark.
Okay. And then they come here.
Exactly. Mark will be in bad shape, I imagine. Bed sores are going to be the least of our troubles. He'll recuperate here.
You really think a tiny motel room is the best place for him to recover?
It's discreet and in the opposite direction from the city. They won't look for us here.
But they will look for us, right?
Yes. But they won't be able to prove either of our involvement, and you and Mark will be off on your road trip. Soon enough, it'll all blow over.
That's optimistic. Okay, I guess I should start setting up the feed, make sure everything is running okay.
Yes.
You gave Damien the earpiece?
Yeah. He was very impressed by my spy tech, as he called it. Don't worry, he doesn't know that I have a computer genius on my team. He thinks I'm doing it all entirely on my own.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a computer genius. I've spent a lot of time on them, that's all. The tracker?
On the van I purchased. He doesn't know.
Good. It's a transmitter too, just in case he takes out the earpiece. Wait, you bought a van?
It's amazing what you can find on Craigslist. I figured it was better to have a getaway car that wasn't registered to anyone.
Oh my God, this is completely crazy, right? I mean, spy tech, getaway cars. We're not the CIA. What the hell are we doing?
Speak for yourself, Sam. I worked for a secret government organization and then tried to breach their high security area.
Okay, good point. Then I guess I'm the only fish out of water here.
Well, not to be blunt, but do you ever feel like a fish in water?
No, that is also a very solid point. At least this is sort of fun.
I'm beginning to think you don't know what that word means.
Yeah, you might be right. At the very least, my brain feels like it's being fully used for the first time in a long time.
My good mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Okay, enough with the platitudes. You're making me more nervous. Okay, the feed is set up. We just have to wait for him to turn it on.
We wait.
We fade out as time passes, fading back in as the computer dings.
That must be him.
You want to do all the talking, I assume?
Definitely. Damien knows nothing about you, and I prefer to keep it that way.
Right. Okay, just press this button here, and he'll be able to hear us. It works like a one-way walkie-talkie. He can only hear you when you choose, but you can always hear him.
Okay. Damien, right on time.
When Damien speaks, we hear him and everything that's happening around him through the speakers on Sam's computer.
Hey, Dr. B. How's your night going so far?
No time for small talk, Damien. Are you at the facility?
Pulling up to the gate now. Looks like there's one guard at the gatehouse.
As expected. Are you ready for this?
Why not? Good evening, sir.
Name and ID number, please.
I just wanted to pop inside and say hello to a friend of mine.
Excuse me?
I'll be quick. I promise.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll let you through.
Much obliged.
Okay, it worked. He just has 4 more security points to get through, and then we'll be fine.
God, 4 more?
2 guards at the entrance, then he'll use the key card to open the locked stairway and the entrance to the sub-basement, and 1 more guard at the entrance to Tier 5.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Here we go.
We fade into a brief montage of Damien getting through security. Footsteps, beeps, doors, and fade back in on him walking through a hallway.
All right, I'm in the sub-basement now, walking towards what I assume is Tier 5.
You have the map I sent you?
Yes, I have the map. I'm not an idiot.
Good. Okay, Sam, are you ready to make the jump?
What, now?
He's got 1 more guard post to go through, and then he's in Mark's room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm ready as I'll ever be. Okay. Dr. Bright, if something goes wrong and I don't come back.
Sam, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, but just, I've never tried to pull anything like this before. There are a lot of variables. So if something goes wrong, will you take care of Darwin for me?
Yes, of course. Now go.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
A whoosh as Sam time travels, disappearing from the motel room, leaving Dr. Bright to talk to Damien through the computer.
Damien, where are you?
I'm approaching the second hallway.
Good. Remember to take the left after the second.
Excuse me. Fuck. Are you authorized to be down here?
Well, if it isn't Agent Green. Working late, are we? Don't you have anything better to do on a Saturday night?
Is that Damien?
The one and only.
What the hell are you doing here? How did you get in?
How do you think?
This is quite unusual, Damien. I'm going to have to call security.
No, I don't think you want to do that.
Damien, what are you doing?
Providing a demonstration of my ability. Isn't that what you've been after with all those phone calls?
In a controlled setting, yes, but I suppose it's all right that you're here.
Attaboy. Now, I'm going to need you to skedaddle in just a moment, but first, I was wondering if you could answer some questions for me.
I'd be happy to.
Damien, tell him to go back to the office and keep moving.
Great. You see, Dr. B hasn't exactly been forthcoming with information, which is sort of rude considering how big of a favor I'm doing her.
Favor?
Don't worry about it. But you're familiar with Dr. B's brother, Mark?
Of course. He's one of our most prized assets.
Really? And why is that? What can he do?
Damien, walk away.
Oh, he can perform the ability of any other atypical when in close proximity.
He can... Wait, what?
He's a mimic, a chameleon of sorts. He shares the power of anyone he's standing next to.
So you're saying if he was in the same room as me, he could do what I do?
Yes.
Dr. B certainly failed to mention that. You're sure it would work?
Well, we've never heard of anyone with your ability, so I can't be positive, but Mark's power doesn't seem to have any limitations.
You've really never met another atypical who could do what I do?
No. You're very special, Damien.
I am very special.
Don't get any ideas, Damien.
Well, it's been a delight talking to you, Agent. I'm going to need you to fuck off now.
Very well.
You lied to me, Dr. B. That's not good.
I didn't lie. I never told you what Mark could do.
Not that, though I think it could be argued that's a live omission at the very least. No, I meant that you told me finding someone like me could take a long time, that you didn't know of anyone, and all of this time your brother was like me.
Mark is nothing like you. We need to have this discussion later. We're on the clock.
Fine. Is this tier 5? Good, let me in.
Okay.
Thanks. You know where a guy named Mark Bright is being kept?
There's a Mark in room 12.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Wait, don't hurt him.
Excuse me?
I know you must be one of them because I want to let you by and I have no idea why, but Mark's a good guy and he's been through a lot, so don't hurt him.
Sure. Okay. Got any idea what the hell that was about?
No, none. Are you in? Are you in his room?
Yep. Yeesh. He looks...
What? What? How does he look?
Tired. Should he look tired? Hasn't he been asleep for years?
Yes.
Speaking of, how do I wake him up? You've been very cagey about this part of the plan.
He should be waking up any moment now.
Okay. How do you know that? He looks really comaed out to me.
Just trust me.
Yeah, okay.
A whoosh as Sam time travels back, returning to the motel room.
What the hell was that?
Sam, how did it go?
Rushed, but I think it worked.
Rushed? What do you mean?
Well, I was so nervous that the moment I got there, I could tell my hold on 1810 was pretty shaky. So I found Mark and told him that there would be someone waiting for him who was going to bring him to you and me. And then I jumped back, but I think I had a hold on him. I really do. I could feel his hand.
Damien, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here. No change on these little machines yet. Oh, wait a second. We've got a live one here.
Mark?
Oh, God.
Hey, buddy. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
I'm your knight in shining armor, pal. Come on, let's get you unhooked.
Damien, unplug those machines before you draw attention to yourself.
Righto.
What?
Nothing. Come on, out of bed. Having some trouble? Here. Can you stand?
Not really. Grab that crutch over there.
Here you go. Let me get your other arm.
Where are we going?
Out. The great outdoors. Back into the world.
Okay, but who are you?
Let's just focus on getting out of here, okay? I'll explain everything when we get back to the van. Don't want the AM listening in. Or anyone, for that matter. Speaking of...
An electronic glitch as the sound from the computer is cut off.
What happened? Where'd they go?
Damien must have taken out the earpiece. Why would he do that?
Shit.
Dr. Bright, did something happen when I was gone?
Damien found out what Mark can do.
He didn't already know?
No, of course not. It's far too much of a temptation for him. Having someone who could absorb his power, exercise it with him? Oh my God.
Okay, it's going to be fine. We've still got the transmitter in the van, so once they're back in the car, we'll be able to track them and hear them again. We won't be able to talk to them, though.
It's good enough. Just go get it set up.
Fade out on typing. Time passes, and we fade back in on Dr. Bright pacing the room.
Oh, come on, it's been 10 minutes. Where are they?
Do you think they got caught?
Suddenly, sound from the computer comes back, and through it we hear a van door opening.
Oh, thank God.
All right, in you go. That's good. You can lie down back there. I made it nice and cozy for you.
Thanks. Sorry that my legs don't really work well.
It's no problem. To be expected, really. You were laid up for quite a while. Now, let's get out of here.
The sound of Damien driving as we hear them through the van's transmitter.
Now, can you tell me what the hell's going on?
A thank you wouldn't be too hard, would it?
You're right, thank you. Now, who the fuck are you?
Damien.
Are you a friend or a foe, Damien?
Friend. Definitely.
Well, in that case, I'm Mark. Mark Bryant. I would shake your hand, but I've already lost feeling in my arms.
Bryant?
Wait, did you say Mark Bryant?
Yeah. What's it to you?
Dr. Bright, what's going on?
You and I have someone in common, I think. Your sister, Dr. Joan.
What? You know Joni?
Joni. I bet she hates that.
No, she doesn't actually. Wait, did my sister send you?
No. I'm a patient of Dr. B's. She told me about you, though, about how you were being experimented on. I thought it sounded just awful, so I decided to take matters into my own hands, help a fellow atypical out.
So you're an atypical?
Can't you tell? Didn't your ability start pinging, or I don't know, how does that work?
I'm a little too tired to give the old superpower a whirl. Give me a few days.
You can do it? Mimic other people's powers?
I could. I don't know. It's been a long time. Well, unless you count. Wait. So you're a patient of my sister's and she doesn't know you're here?
Nope.
You should have called her. I'm sure she could have helped.
It never seemed like she had much interest in getting you out.
Oh.
No, Mark. That's not true. You have to know that's not true. Sam, didn't you tell him I was getting him out?
Yes, I did. Right before we left, I said that me and you were going to be waiting for him, but I called you.
Wait, what about Dr. Bright? Do you know a Dr. Bright?
It's a code name, I assume?
Sorry, man. The only Dr. B I know is your sis. Why? How do you know that name? I mean, why did that name pop into your head? A doctor at the AM, maybe?
They're assigned to us when we enter the AM. All the agents and doctors use false names. It's a protective measure.
No, it's God, my head is so fuzzy. I can't remember.
Why didn't you tell me you've been using a fake name?
But there was someone who told me that name.
It wasn't relevant. If you just told Mark you were working with me in the first place, this never would have happened.
It wasn't relevant? God, he was right. You and your secrets.
They were going to help me.
What is that supposed to mean?
He knew you were keeping something from him, and now I've been keeping things from him, things about you. I didn't mean to, but it got too late, and I didn't know how to make it better. If I could go back and start over. Oh my God.
Oh, Sam.
Mark?
Oh, careful there. Don't go rolling around. That can't be good for you.
Sam told me that Dr. Bright was going to help me out.
Sam? Who's he?
Wait, you don't know Sam? She was with me in the other time.
Other time? What the hell are you talking about?
Why don't you know Sam? She was with me these past few months, or at least I think it was months.
You've been in a coma for 2 years.
Yes, I know. Thank you. But I was in 1810 the whole time. Time travel experiment gone wrong.
Damn. And there was a girl there with you?
At the end, she said she was real. I thought she was real. You don't know her?
I am real.
Sorry, friend. Don't know any girl named Sam.
I guess I really did make her up, didn't I?
I don't know.
No.
God. Years without a body, without pain, being back. I was in a coma for 2 years, you said?
As far as I know.
Shit.
No kidding.
She felt so real.
Sorry, man. Hey, once you recover, we'll find you a nice girl. A real one.
No. I need to find her.
Good, Mark. Don't trust him.
She made it better, you know? She made it better. Just when I was going to lose my mind, she made it better. Or did I just lose my mind after all? Hallucinating an amazing woman that was going to save me. That sounds like something I would do.
No, Mark, I'm real. I did save you.
Let's just get you better. Get that power of yours up and working again.
What about my sister?
What about her?
I should tell her I'm out.
You should.
Do you think that's a good idea? She might turn you back in.
No, she wouldn't. Would she? God, I haven't talked to her in so long. I don't even know where she lives.
Not that far from here, which is why we need to get the hell out of Dodge.
You don't really think she would put me back in?
Between you and me, I think your sister can be a very cold and calculating bitch sometimes. Speaking of,
What?
I can't believe I've been this stupid.
What?
Hold on a second, buddy.
Through the computer, the sound of Damien pulling the van to a stop and finding the tracker inside of it.
Yep, thought so. Nice try, Dr. B.
What is it?
A tracking device. Thought she might pull something like that. Your sister is a very paranoid woman.
She was always very protective of her secrets.
No, Mark.
I bet she's been relaying our location back to the AM this entire time. This is surely a fancy piece of tech. Wait, what's this? A transmitter? Doc, listening in, are we? I'll take care of this.
No, this is not happening.
Through the computer, the sound of Damien getting out of the van and running over the tracker, breaking it.
No.
Check the feed. Do you have their location still?
No, it's gone.
I'm gonna kill Damien.
He's gone. I lost him. No.
No, I refuse to believe that this is how it turns out. There must be something else. We can get in the car right now. We can follow their footsteps. We will chase them down. We will explain everything.
No,
Sam?
How could I do this? If I'd just been honest, he thinks I'm not real. How could he think that I'm not real? I'm real, right? I'm here. I'm real.
Yes, Sam, you're real. You are here with me, and Mark is confused and sick, and we will get him back, and we will both be here in this time together. But I need you to take some deep breaths for me right now, okay? We need to focus.
I can't. I knew it. I knew using my ability would make things bad. It always makes things bad. He has to know that I'm real. He didn't make me up, that I exist.
A whoosh as Sam involuntarily time travels, vanishing from the room.
Sam? Sam?
We fade to silence. End of episode. And that's the end of season 2 of the Bright Sessions. Thank you so much to my amazing original cast, Julie Morizawa, Anna Laurie, Brigham Snow, Charlie Ian, and Ian McEwen for jumping in and playing these different roles. And now I will kick it back to Henry and Colin.
Wow, that was amazing. Thanks so much. And you're seeing it in the chat. It's blowing up.
Yeah, I can't tell whether I'm more excited by the fans seeing the reinterpretation of the characters here, or fans crossing over from one show to the other and swearing they're going to listen more regularly. But this has been a great experience.
So the idea here was just to allow people a quick bio break, and for the performers to like catch their breath after what, from my perspective, was super intense. So we're going to do that just a couple minutes. There'll be a countdown timer on it, and then we'll come right back and dive in. So fill up the chat, fill up the Q&A. We'll try to get to that, and we'll explore the kind of the diverse demonstrations of remarkable craft that we just had the privilege of experiencing. So thank you.